Hold on. No, I hear something. No. Ready? We will now call the meeting to order. We'll have the city town clerk take the roll.
Saban,
Here.
Douglas, Hurt,
Present.
Rodriguez,
Present.
Singh,
Here.
Rodriguez,
Here.
Roth,
Here.
Pupo,
Here.
Decker,
Here.
Festa,
Here.
Haywood, Antunes,
Here.
Santana,
Here.
Acosta, Santiago,
Here.
Crespo,
Presente.
Ortiz,
Here.
Pula,
Here.
Edwards, Clyburn,
Here.
Winter,
Here.
Morrison,
Here.
Walker Myers,
Here.
Hamilton,
Present.
Marchand,
Here.
Raheem,
Present.
Furlow,
Here.
Marks,
Here.
Wingate,
Present.
Smith.
Here.
I would like to note for the record, that order from Ward 2 has joined us. A quorum has been established. We'll now have divine guidance from order from Ward 20.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. My heart is heavy tonight with all that is happening around us and in our world today. I thought it would be fitting to pray and read following scripture. I pray that all mankind be sustained during this pandemic and hereafter. Also that God will encircle and strengthen us and keep our hearts and minds. Keep our bodies healed and healthy in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I will now read 1 Timothy 2, 1 through 6. I urge then, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for all people.
Yes.
For kings and all those in authority.
Hallelujah.
And in places of high responsibility.
Glory. Hallelujah.
That we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. This is good and pleases God our Savior, who want all people to be saved and to come to a knowledge of the truth. For there is one God and one mediator between God and mankind, the man Christ Jesus, who gave himself as a ransom for all people. Thank you.
Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening. I move approval of the Journal of the October 5th, 2020 Board of Alders meeting.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion, are there any changes to the journal? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. On unanimous consent, I ask UC on item number 1 from the Tax Collector Order of Tax Refunds, October 19, 2020.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passed, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under UC, I ask UC on item number 2 from Alden Morrison, submitting on behalf of the Q House Advisory Board, the bylaws of the Q House Advisory Board.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask UC on item number 3 from the Director, Youth and Recreations Department, submitting a resolution of the New Haven Board of Aldermen authorizing for the acceptance of a Connecticut Department of Education grant in the amount of $125,000 to provide programming to the City of New Haven for after-school, in-skilled vocational and credential training to high school students and case management portion of UPSTAT programming for $105,000, totaling $230,000. Justice Education Center of 62 LaSalle Road, number 308, West Hartford, Connecticut, will act as the sole source to administer this after-school program called Career Pathways Eli Whitney After School Program.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under unanimous consent, I ask UC in items number 4 and 5. 4, order of the Board of Alders approving the request from Dane M. Button for assistance on motor vehicle tax account 725675. And 5, order of the Board of Alders approving the request from Zulay Gutierrez for assistance on motor vehicle tax accounts 795105, 795106, 811414, and 827110.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the items.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
The items have been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. For the record, I note communications 6 through 11, bringing us to Livable City Initiative, item number 12, from the Executive Director of Livable City Initiative, submitting an order approving the dispositions of 0 Franklin Street, MBP 200 0582 00105 to the City of New Haven Housing Authority for $1,000, 0 Grand Avenue 200 0583 00400 to the City of New Haven Housing Authority for $1,000, 156 through 158 Humphrey Street to Urbane New Haven LLC for $25,000, 655 Washington Avenue to Glofesta M. Suggs for $2,613.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I note for the record, first readings 13 and 14, bringing us to second readings 15, Aldermanic Affairs favorable. I'll move all three together, A through C. A, order the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Michael Lawler to the Board of Police Commissioners. B, order the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Elias Estabrook to the Affordable Housing Commission. And C, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Jamie Myers McPhail to the Affordable Housing Commission.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 13.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Lawler appeared before us, has extensive experience that will make him an asset to the Board of Police Commissioners. Elias Estabrook and Jamie Myers McPhail both attended the meeting, and the meeting was held on September 28th, 2020. And we favorably recommend all of these, the three people that were mentioned, Mr. Lawler, Mr. Elias Estabrook, and Mr. Myers McPhail, to these to the positions that they were appointed to. We believe that they would be a favorable aspect and urge our colleagues to support it. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 16, Aldermanic Affairs leave to withdraw. A, order granting leave to withdraw the communication to approve the appointment of Zini Malik to the Affordable Housing Commission. And B, order granting leave to withdraw the communication to approve appointment of Lisa McKnight to the Affordable Housing Commission.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 13.
Thank you, Madam President. On September 28, 2020, the Aldermanic Affairs Committee met. We would like to request leave to withdraw for these items A and B, as both of these individuals were not able to attend the meeting, but they have the option of applying at a later time. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of giving these items leave to withdraw, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 17, City Services and Environmental Policy favorable, A and B. A, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing acceptance of continuing Homeland Security grant funds for FY 2020 and approve a memorandum of agreement designating the Lower Connecticut River Valley Council of Governments as the administrator of these regional funds for the State of Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection. And B, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the mayor to apply for, execute, acknowledge, implement, and deliver any and all documents as may be considered necessary or appropriate for the State Historical Preservation Office's grant supplemental certified local government grant.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 10.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a point of clarification. I will move item A, and if items B and C can be moved together, that would be appreciated. So I'll speak on behalf of item A regarding the authorizing of Homeland Security grant funds. On Thursday, October 1st, 2020, the City Services Environmental Policy Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend this item. These continuing Homeland Security grant funds are made available through Connecticut Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security for planning equipment and training for exercises relating to emergency management and Homeland Security in the region and state. This is an item that comes before the board every year, and I urge my colleagues to vote favorably to support them. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Just as a point of clarification, Madam Chair, items A and B have already been moved. So do I continue to item C?
You could continue as you so choose.
Thank you, Madam President. Just as a point of order, I would just recommend for our Chair Festa to just give a description of item B as item C.
Yep.
And I apologize for the misunderstanding. So I continue under City Services and Environmental Policy favorable, moving item C, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the mayor to apply for, execute, acknowledge, implement, and deliver any and all documents as may be considered necessary or appropriate for the State Historic Preservation Office's grant, Historic Preservation Enhancement Grant.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on from Ward 10, and you can discuss items B and C together. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Item B, just to reiterate, is that the mayor has applied for a grant through the State Historic Preservation Offices for supplemental certified local government grant. Again, on Thursday, October 1st, 2020, the City Services and Environmental Policy Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend both of these items. The city seeks the State Historic Preservation Office grants to study adaptive reuses for the River Street National Historic District. The city is seeking to study possibilities of adaptive reuse in the River Street District, as well as other similar districts facing the similar combination of issues of remediation of contaminated land, adaptation to flood risks, and rehabilitation of historic resources. The process will consist of hiring a consultant to conduct an economic feasibility study on potential reuse models, as well as engaging local stakeholders in assessing needs and desires for the area. The project will provide a set of models and practices that can be used in planning for future areas with similar conditions, historic importance, deteriorating physical conditions, and flood risk. I urge colleagues to vote favorably to support these grants. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under City Services and Environmental Policy favorable, I move item D, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the mayor to apply for, execute, acknowledge, implement, and deliver any and all documents as may be considered necessary or appropriate for the State Historic Preservation Office's grant, survey, and planning grant.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 10.
Thank you, Madam President. On Thursday, October 1st, 2020, the City Services and Environmental Policy Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend this item. The city seeks the State Historic Preservation Grant to undergo an adaptive reuse study for the Bigelow Complex at 198 River Street. This grant would help the city determine the best next steps for this complex. I urge colleagues to vote favorably to support them. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under City Services and Environmental Policy favorable, I move item E, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the mayor to apply for, execute, acknowledge, implement, and deliver any and all documents as may be considered necessary or appropriate for the Preservation Connecticut Grant Vibrant Communities Initiative.
Second.
The item has been moved second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 10.
Thank you, Madam President. On Thursday, October 1st, 2020, the City Services and Environmental Policy Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend this item. The city seeks this Preservation Connecticut grant to undergo an adaptive reuse study for the former Strong School building at 69 Grand Avenue. The goal of this grant is to produce models to reuse the historic complex, which is currently empty and in deteriorating physical condition. I urge my colleagues to vote favorably to support it. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. And finally, finishing with Community Services and City Services and Environmental Policy, I move item F, resolution authorizing the mayor to apply for, execute, acknowledge, implement, and deliver any and all documents as may be considered necessary or appropriate for the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection Grant, Urban Green and Community Garden Initiative.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 10.
Thank you, Madam President. On Thursday, October 1st, 2020, the City Services and Environmental Policy Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend this item. The city seeks this Department of Energy and Environmental Protection grant to transform the road surrounding the John S. Martinez School playground into an accessible green space. The grant seeks to build a visible, accessible entrance to the Mill River Trail in Fairhaven by converting 4 blocks of degraded roadway and vacant land into a linear trail and green stormwater capture park, which will improve resilience, restore habitat, and support the health and well-being of the Fairhaven residents. The site is currently a dead-end road that is blocked to vehicles. I urge my colleagues to vote favorably to support this. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 18, Community Development favorable. A, from the city engineer submitting an order authorizing the mayor to accept funding from Yale University and construct a sidewalk on the north side of Pearl Street, west of Orange Street.
Second.
I will now call on order from Ward 29.
Thank you, Madam President. Yale is contributing $60,000 to build a sidewalk on Pearl Street. This project will improve public safety on this important pedestrian gateway to the campus. The city will contribute $40,000 from the sidewalk bond fund. This project has been approved by the city recourse allocation committee, which oversee the sidewalks. I urge your support.
I will now call on order from Ward 7.
Thank you, Madam President. The proposed Pearl Street sidewalk is in my ward, and my constituents have been expressing concerns about the safety of this block since the Yale School of Management's new building opened. Many pedestrians and cyclists cut down this block heading to and from East Rock to the Yale campus. Many vehicles also cut down this block to try to avoid traffic lights on Orange Street. This creates a dangerous convergence made worse by the fact that the walkway from the back of the School of Management feeds pedestrians directly into the middle of Pearl Street. The concerns about safety escalated in February 2019 when a student was hit by a car. I've heard from a large number of constituents who support this proposal, who appreciate Yale putting $50,000 towards the project in recognition of the fact that a significant number of people who walk and bike on the street are members of the Yale community heading to and from the Yale campus. I want to share the views of my constituents. However, because I work at Yale and this issue directly involves Yale, I am going to abstain from voting. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under Community Services or Community Development, favorable, I move item 18B from the Director of Livable City Initiative, submitting an order authorizing the City of New Haven to convey those properties known as 29 Kensington Street, 17 Kensington Street, 21 Kensington Street, 33 Kensington Street, and 25 Kensington Street to the community builders for the purpose of construction of affordable housing, and authorizing the mayor of the City of New Haven to execute and deliver any and all necessary documents to complete such conveyance in accordance with the provisions of this order.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 29.
Thank you, Madam President. Like many of you, I have been torn by the project. On one hand, creating more affordable housing is a stated priority for the Board of Alders. On another hand, no one likes to see parks closed, reduce green space on blocks, and decreasing recreation opportunities. After much thought, the need for affordable housing trumps the park relocation. This is balanced by the improvement that will be made to nearby parks. We must do something to balance the hundreds of units, high-priced apartments being built by and for profit developers. Excuse me. As the chair of the committee, I like to commend the many community activists who oppose this project. Their timeless advocacy to provide the Kensington Street Park with impressive. They even created a new way of protesting their live two-way video feed from the park. Thank you so much. I urge your support.
I would now yield the chair to the President Pro Tem so I can speak on the item.
Thank you, Madam President. Any further discussion? I call on the Alder of Ward 23.
Thank you. I am the Alder for the area, and it's really difficult when we talk about affordable housing and whether we should replace the park. And I am confident that we do our due diligence in bringing this information to the community, and we need affordable housing in the city. It's a number of different people who have lost their jobs due to COVID-19 that's going to, quite frankly, be looking for housing at some point. we are going to get 15 more affordable housing units in the area, and then an additional 66 units will get refurbished. So you have to think about the families that already live there that deserve to live in a complex that is kept very well. We'll also get some investment in a park on Day Street that is literally one block over, if this goes through. Plus, also we'll get investment in another park, which is 2 blocks over on Garden Street. And I know this is a really hard decision, right? We all know we need green space, and everybody should have access to green space. But we will still have some green space in Dwight West River, and that's in Ward 23 that I represent. And I'm urging my colleagues to please vote in favor of this project. I know it's a difficult decision. I also want to applaud the number of different people that spoke out against the project, because I think all voice of the community is really important in this process. But I will be voting favorably. I hope my colleagues do so also. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President Walker Myers. I will call Alder Festa.
Thank you, Madam Pro Temp. I speak in opposition of selling the Kensington Playground to TCB for $1 to develop affordable housing. While our goal as a board is to promote affordable housing, we have boarded up homes all over the city that can be restored and used for affordable housing, and also eliminate blight. Affordable housing provides tax credits for developers. They collect their money and then they disappear, leaving residents to fend for themselves and live in sometimes deplorable conditions because they have been forgotten by these developers. Who is to say that these units won't become market rate apartments in the future? And yet we need affordable housing. But also, without green space, we create serious social and mental health crisis for the residents, and this is documented in research. And to give up green space at a time of our current pandemic with COVID being outdoors is even more critical than ever. And it would be a disservice to the residents to lose green space, particularly with mature trees that also provide CO2. Green spaces also contribute to the health and healing of the residents, providing social and mental health, healthy environments. But the density of affordable housing without green spaces takes that away. It takes away the social and mental health relief that residents feel when they are in parks. And as much as this is a difficult vote for me because of our goals as a board, I feel that green space right now is important for the social and mental health of the residents. And I also believe that we need affordable housing and that we have so many units across the city that are boarded up that need to be restored, need to be used for exactly that reason. And it also allows the entire city to be involved with affordable housing. So all neighborhoods that have boarded up homes can be a part of this and make a difference, I feel, not only in each neighborhood, but also for the residents that would eventually occupy these homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Festa. Next, I'll call Alder Hamilton, Ward 24.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Temp. I am speaking in favor of the sale of this park. First of all, let me start by saying, prior to this item coming before us, the park was never used for the right purposes. I cannot tell you the amount of bad things that have happened there. A lot of drugs, drug paraphernalias, bad misconduct, a lot of bad stuff. No one spoke up when the park was not being used for the right purpose. As the alder for Ward 24, where I know the need for affordable housing is so critical, I go back to 66 Norton Street that was demolished and 80-something residents in Ward 24 left homeless. We need affordable housing for all of our residents, right? It doesn't only affect the new built home, but the 66 other apartments that are there that needs to be updated to bring the folks that currently lives there up to a better quality of life. That is a plus for the residents in that community. We're not taking away the green space totally. 1 block over on Day Street, there is a park, and we are investing in that to make it more usable for all people. I think we should all stand up and support this item because it's a benefit to a lot of residents, people that are in need of decent housing now. And we as a board, we will put their feet to the fire to make sure that it stays affordable and is kept to the standard that people need to live in a decent quality housing. So I urge all of my colleagues to support this item. And let me say this also. In the past 24 hours, I've heard from so many people that before this never give a hoot about this area. All of a sudden now everybody's taking it up, and I like that. So let's work together to support the community by making sure there is affordable housing and also continue building and improving the parks in the area so that people do continue to have green space. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alder Hamilton. Next, I will call Alder Roth, Ward 7.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. I agree that we have a tremendous need for affordable housing in our city and our region. And I agree this is a difficult decision, but I don't support this proposal. I listened to the community development hearing. I've listened to many people who I've heard from the Dwight neighborhood and within my own ward about why it's so important to save the park. And I agree that the city shouldn't sell parkland to create affordable housing. And we don't have to choose between parks and affordable housing, in my view. We should simply find another location to build 15 units. Just tonight in the item on Humphrey Street, we sold a piece of blighted land or empty land to build 12 units of housing on it. And I'm confident that there's other parcels of land, as my colleague from Ward 10 said, that exist in New Haven, which aren't currently green space. And we still can, of course, it's so important to renovate the existing apartments, that can still be done. And as many advocates have articulately expressed, which I'm not doing, parks have so many important mental and physical health benefits and environmental benefits, from reducing asthma risk to creating places for kids to play. And this is a neighborhood with little existing green space. And while there's been some criticism of the park having drug issues, the solution is not to eliminate the park, is to work on improving it. Unfortunately, many parks across our city have such issues, but we're all working to try to reduce those issues and make our parks safe places for people. We unanimously voted earlier this year to approve the plan for the Neuroscience Center for the hospital. That plan will increase density and traffic in this neighborhood, making a park here even more important. Additionally, COVID-19 has made ready access to outdoor space all the more important for people. If we build this park, a valuable asset that will benefit many in the neighboring community will be gone for 15 units of affordable housing, which I truly believe can be built elsewhere in the city. Therefore, as important as affordable housing is, I do believe it would be a mistake to support this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Roth. I will call on Alder from Ward 18, Alder DeCola.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. I am in favor of this tough decision. I attended a lot of the meetings. The Parks Commission had a public meeting in the park that was not attended by everyone that is now voicing their opinion. This has been a 3-year project. I have delivered mail there for many years when I was a carrier. The park was never used for what it was meant to be, a park. It It was everything else. This development is about affordable housing that our board has made a commitment, a true commitment, more than any other city in Connecticut has done. It's on our backs to help these families. And I feel that our board must stay strong and look at the bigger goal. It's about families, quality of life, and the $30 million project that will regenerate an area for a more positive lifestyle. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder DeCola. I will now call on Alder Douglas.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. Honorable colleagues, so as you all know, this project has also been a dilemma for me. A lot of sleepless nights on this issue. Believe me, I get it that we all need affordable housing. We have made it a priority of ours, and for many good reasons. But we also need not less, but more green space. It's a matter of public health. I have issues myself with breathing as it is already, and it's been hard, making this decision. But in this time of climate change, it gives me second thoughts. I weigh it in on both sides, but in the end, I have to vote my conscience. And I do not support the closing or the sale of any parks in our city. And I thank you all for understanding my position. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. Honorable colleagues, thank you.
Thank you, Alder Douglas. I will now call on Alder Smith of Ward 30.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem President. I've worked for the city for 30 years with Parks Department along with Public Works. And I think if anyone that knows about green space, knows about the usage of the space, I consider myself as one of the expertise in it because I had the opportunity of dealing with these green space and open spaces. And this one in particular has been a problematic area where you have a lot of illegal activities that go on, has been going on for the last 15, 20 years, to be exact. I haven't heard anyone make any complaints from the Board of Alders when I was in the position in regards to this space here. It's a drug haven. And to put some affordable houses, as everyone have stated that we are in COVID, people have lost their homes. People are crying out, and I do respect those that are crying out about green space, and I do respect you about crying out about boarded houses, but you guys knew boarded house has been there for over years ago, and nobody's doing anything about the boarded houses. So doing this by creating more housing in this pandemic, I am totally in favorable of that, and I respect everybody's decisions of how they feel. But knowing and seeing is two different things. And I've been on the field and seen what have happened in that area, and I know what happens. So I am in favor of this project for more housing, affordable housing, because we need that and more. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, Alder Smith. I will call on Alder Clyburn of Ward 20.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. I appreciate you giving me this time. Our colleagues have spoke very well, but I would like to say, I know the importance of green space as well, but I know the importance of life. People having somewhere to live that is clean, that they can lay their heads down and be comfortable and secure in their homes. I believe that most of us on this board have a comfortable place to live and we are secure in our homes. It's time that we give the least ones of this city a chance to live. It's not like there would be no green space. Green space will be a block away. They will have somewhere. But it's important that humans have somewhere to live and to grow and to raise their children, even ones who can't pay a lot of money. We got to realize we are dealing with people, real people who are alive, who need living, a place to live. Also, it's not like they won't have a place to play or to grow and enjoy each other in their community. But I would like to say, some things was raised about our parks. Our city, for years, since I became alder, they really didn't care to me about parks, that we have decent parks for our children to play. We had to advocate and advocate for them to even care, to even mow our parks. And I know this for a fact. When Cherry Ann Street, we didn't have a park back there. We were looking for a park for the kids so they wouldn't be on the streets to ride their bikes and play basketball. We had some people who didn't want it, but I said they brought up the negativity of a park back there. I said, these children got to have somewhere to spread their wings. We got to stop letting our children play basketball and ride their bikes on the street. They need somewhere. So these children over in Madam Ward, our president's ward, she is making sure these children have somewhere to play and enjoy. But we won't even give them a chance to live. And talking about houses that are boarded up, our city has failed us again. Not even giving people a chance when a house is on foreclosure to to give them a chance to fix their house. Not even caring. Our city have really failed our people, I think, on what I see on housing and our parks and keeping them clean and caring for all parts of this city and not being biased towards the least ones in this city. So I support this. I support this. I support it. I greatly support it. And I hopefully that the people that even living there now, that their lives will go up and they'll feel better about their area.
Alder Clyburn, I'm gonna have to cut you off, hon.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I support.
Thank you. Thank you. Alder Marks and Alder Santiago, I do see you. I got a whole list. So Alder Marks and then Alder Santiago, then Alder Decker.
Okay, thank you, President Pro Tem. I just want to echo what my colleagues are saying. I definitely stand in support of affordable housing. You all know that parks are dear to my heart. I mean, I'm out there trying to save parks, Gulf Street Park. It means everything. And the when we were in the meeting the other night, I mean, with the testimonies the people was given, it was very heartfelt. This is a hard and this is a difficult thing to do. But I mean, people, they need housing. And I understand green space. It is important. But as my colleague stated, I mean, in those neighborhoods, they can walk just a few steps away from where they are and be accommodated with all the green space. It's not like they're losing something that they can't have no other way of getting to. So what everyone else is saying, I totally agree. I'm from New Haven. I remember what Kensington Street was, or probably what it still is. They didn't care back then, but now we're bringing something forward to give to people something that this city is crying out for. When we look at in certain neighborhoods, people are crying out, and having shelter over their head is one thing. Going to sleep hungry at night. But these affordable housing, I'm telling you, is so needed, and especially in that area. I support this here. I'm asking my colleagues to do so as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alder Marks. Alder Santiago of the 15th Ward.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Okay, first of all, as the park commissioner, I could tell you it wasn't easy because he took several months. And I'm listening to everybody making good points. But I'm asking myself, where was all this when we were going to meetings? Because I know Alder DeCola went to a meeting that through all the meetings that I went through the Parks Commission regarding this, I only saw, if I'm not mistaken, only 2 people that was against this land swap, because it's not a sale. They're swapping lands. Some land is going to be for housing. Some land is going to be for green space. Okay. I mean, where was all this when this was going on? All of a sudden now everybody wants to voice their opinion. It took several months until, because we kept tying votes until we realized that affordable housing was needed. And the Day Street part, Gardens Back, was going to get improved, which is close by. Also, Alder Smith, and I don't know who else it was that said that park was not used for the right reasons. They're right. Where were you when that was going on? Now it's being used to improve people's lives. All of a sudden, everybody's coming out of the woodwork. I support this 100% since the beginning. And once again, also, whoever doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, when we pass it in the Parks Commissioners, the language also says that it would not happen again. We will not give any more land for housing. So I'm in favor 100%. And once again, I ask, where were all this when we were going through the meetings? Where were you guys? The guys are against or in favor, both of them. I mean, you wait until the last minute to put your voice against. This not took 1 month or 2 months. Serena was there for a long time fighting for this. We fought for this. I argued with some of the commissioners because we realized. Okay. Anyways, I'm in favor. And once again, where were you when it was going on? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder. Alder Decker of Ward 9.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. In order to address the affordable housing crisis in this city, we're going to have to make trade-offs. And some of them are going to be difficult, but housing is a fundamental human right, or that's what I believe. And frankly, to be in favor of affordable housing in theory, or if the project is absolutely perfect, is wholly inadequate to address the crisis that we face, or that we all say that we agree that we face in our city. To be in favor of affordable housing in theory is not going to help the thousands of members of our community who need a place to live now. And so I'm very pleased to follow the leadership of my colleagues who represent the area and who led a process on this project, a long and well thought out process, and support this project. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alder Decker. I will now call on Alder Hurt, Ward 3.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. Affordable housing is something that we all need in this city. Just last week, I spoke with 2 constituents of mine in the 3rd Ward who is facing eviction due to COVID-19. It's hard because the green space that's in the hill, most of it's used for illegal activities. And something needs to be done. And I speak favorably for this action for the simple fact it's all about the quality of life. While others are having a good time lollygagging around in our green space, there are some families out there who need affordable housing. And if this has been an area where, and I've been in New Haven for close to 30 years, and that has always been a problem park. So I think we need to let's work together to make this a place where everyone can enjoy living and not have to worry about looking out their window at others doing illegal activities. So I urge all my colleagues to vote favorably for this, and let's work together. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alder Hurt. I will call on the Alder from Ward 24. Alder President Taisha Walker-Myers.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem, Ward 23.
I apologize.
That's okay. I do not want people to think that all bad things happen in Ward 23. I think we should be clear about that. Type of things that happen there happen everywhere. This decision isn't based on that. This decision is based on the need for affordable housing and to create better quality of life for people that already reside there. And we all care about health. We all care about green space. But our neighborhood won't be absent green space. And if this deal should go through, it will also add green space to a neighborhood that got close to none. And I think sometime when Alders, they make decisions based on just their neighborhood. Well, as the president, I make decisions based on the whole entire city. And I really appreciate my colleagues that got up here tonight and talked about what was best for Ward 23. And some of them never even visited that park, the big park that they're talking about. And, it's personal to me, the park and the people that actually live there. I lived in Ward 23 for a greater part of my whole entire life. And this is going to be better for our neighborhood. So I'm urging everyone to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I will call on Alder Sabin from Ward 1.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. First, I just want to say that I definitely do not like the idea of building housing on top of city parks. And while I'm planning to vote in favor of this proposal, I'm only doing that with the understanding that we will not be selling city parkland in the future, as Alder Santiago said, to developers, because I think, as my colleagues have said, we need to be prioritizing green space, especially during this time. But as other colleagues have said, I think it's incredibly important that we development of affordable housing in the city. So many folks are struggling during this incredibly difficult time and have been struggling in New Haven for many, many years. And I think that the fact that my colleagues who represent this area are in support of the proposal, as well as the fact that I think this proposal was pretty well designed in investing more resources in housing as space in the neighborhood. And I think that despite some concerns about the fact that we were building on this parkland, I'm in support, and I hope my colleagues will join me. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Any further discussion? I call on Alder Rodriguez from Ward 4.
Thank you, Pro Tem.
There are many problems in our city. We have the opioid, substance abuse, illegal epidemic in our city. We also have homelessness. We need our parks and we need affordable housing. This project, there's been a lot of work put into this project for several years. The Kensington area there has been worked on, and there are going to be green spaces and there are going to be parks. It is a sad note that we should think that all the parks in the city that are holding and have individuals going to them for all the wrong reasons, that we should not look at that. It is very, very important that we look at everything and we understand that this is a good project for that particular section in Kensington. And that we also look at the fact that we have to come up with solutions in New Haven, because many people are coming from throughout the region to receive services, and therefore many are going into our neighborhoods as estranged. They don't live there, utilizing the green spaces and the parks for the wrong reasons. We need the parks because our health and our quality of life depends on it. And many, many people have invested in beautifying our parks. Thank you, Pro Temp.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Madam President Pro Tem, Madam President Pro Tem. Madam President?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under item number 19, education favorable, I move the order to read and file the order of the New Haven Board of Alders calling for a public hearing to discuss issues and concerns relating to this year's New Haven Public Schools Transportation Plan.
Second.
The I has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 17.
Thank you, Madam President. On Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, the Education Committee met, and we'd like to recommend this item to be read and filed. Officials from New Haven Public Schools and First Student testified before the committee regarding the transportation plan, how it has been adapted to meet the needs of students during the pandemic, and additional changes that will be made and are being considered for when all students return to the classroom. This includes reviewing the mask protocols, capacity expectations, and cleaning schedules. I urge colleagues to vote favorably to read and file this item. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item read and file, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? Item passed, Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 20, Health and Human Services favorable. A, resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of New Haven to apply for and accept an epidemiology and laboratory capacity enhancing detection cooperative agreement funding application for the enhanced detection, response, surveillance, and prevention of COVID-19 from the Connecticut Department of Public Health from May 19, 2020 to November 17, 2022.
Second.
The item has been moved second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 26.
Thank you, Madam President.
Honorable colleagues, the state grant will provide $1.2 million for a period of 2.5 years. It will pay a salary and benefits for 3 full-time and 2 part-time epidemiologists, nurses, and contact tracers in the city's health department. It will also provide equipment like cell phones and laptops. I urge your support on this item.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any abstentions? The item passed. Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under 20, Health and Human Services favorable, I move items B and C. B, order the New Haven Board of Alders to read, print, and file the legislative item titled from Alder Roth Sabin, submitting an order calling for a workshop on local colleges and universities to return to school COVID-19 related planning and protocols. C, order of the New Haven Board of Alders to read, print, and file the legislative item titled Order of the New Haven Board of Alders calling the appropriate committee
Oh, shit, you got a decent sidewalk. Never mind.
on the strategy the city is pursuing to confront the COVID-19 pandemic. And just as a point of order, Madam President, we ask colleagues to make sure they're on mute.
Second.
The item has been moved second. Discussion. I call an order from Ward 26.
Thank you, Madam President. Honorable colleagues, the Health and Human Services Committee held an informational session meeting on this topic in July. It was a roundtable discussion amongst city officials and representatives from Yale and Albertus Magnus. We also invited the University of New Haven and Southern Connecticut State University, but they did not participate. The participating colleges discussed a wide range of precautions, including testing, remote learning, peer counseling, and density reduction. Special protocols were created for dining, elevators, and stairways and entrances. We appreciated the 2 colleges sharing their well thought out plans with the city. I urge your support on that item. And as for item C, this item was submitted in May, fairly early in the COVID pandemic, since the city's effort have been discussed at length and in detail by several of our committees. What's clear is that any number of city departments work tirelessly to fight this pandemic. To single out a few, the police department, fire, emergency management, and the health department. Also, many other departments provided essential services during this time, and we all owe them a sincere thanks. I urge your support on both of these items.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? The item passed. Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under item 20, Health and Human Services favorable, I move item D, resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of New Haven to apply for and accept the COVID and Flu Community Health Worker Grant from the Connecticut Health Foundation from October 15, 2020 to March 15, 2021.
Second.
The item was moved in second. Discussion. I call an order from Ward 26.
Thank you, Madam President. Honorable colleagues, this is a special 6-month grant in the amount of $217,000 from CT Health Foundation. It will pay for 6 temporary workers to do contact tracing for COVID and flu this winter. I urge your support for this item.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 21, tax abatement favorable. A through D. A, order concerning real property taxes of Lucinda Allen on her motor vehicle tax account numbers 80422-51488 and 51414. B, order abating, deferring collection of real property taxes due from Harold Parrott on his residence for grand list of 2018 and 2019. C, order abating, deferring collection of real property taxes due from Ann T. DeMaio on her residence for grand list of 2019. And D, order abating, deferring collection of real property taxes from William T. and Mary N. Owens on their residence for grand list of 2019.
Second.
The items have been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 16. All right, maybe not. Discussion.
Madam President.
I call on order from Ward 18.
Thank you. Item A was forgiving the interest and they're paying the taxes. And B, C, and D, this is tax deferral. These are families that have made all the requirements and they're all redoers. And so everything is good with these three families. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 22, tax abatement, leave to withdraw, order granting leave to withdraw, order concerning real property taxes of Mary Abad on her motor vehicle tax account numbers 50233, 50156, 50160, 50234, 50155, and 50159.
Second.
The item was moved second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 18.
Thank you, Madam President. This individual missed 3 meetings, so she fell into leave withdrawal. She could reapply if she chooses.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item leave to withdraw, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under 23 motions to discharge, A, from the chair of the Finance Committee submitting a motion to discharge the Finance Committee from consideration of an order of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven authorizing the execution of the local 3429 paraprofessionals agreement with the Board of Education for the period of July 1, 2019 to June 30, 2023, and to take it up for immediate action.
Second.
The item was moved in second. Discussion, motion to discharge only. I call order from Ward 24.
Thank you, Madam President. On October 8th, the Finance Committee heard this item, a contract between the Board of Education and the Paraprofessionals Union. Due to the tight time frame in which the Board of Alders must vote on this matter, the Finance Committee took no action, and we request that the item be discharged and taken up for a vote this evening. I ask my colleagues to thank President.
Any further discussion on a motion to discharge only? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Any abstentions?
Yes.
Okay, so noted. The item is discharged. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order from Ward 24.
Thank you, Madam President. This ratified agreement between Local 3429 and the Board of Education covers a 4-year period. It contains modest wage increases, and the total cumulative financial impact of the raises is $1,000,000 $199,696. The Board of Education negotiating team believe this contract is fair, and it was approved by the Board of Education on July 27th, 2020. I urge colleagues to support the motion to approve. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Yes.
So noted. The item passed. Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under 23, motion to discharge B from the Chair of the Finance Committee, submitting a motion to discharge the Finance Committee from consideration of an order of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the City Energy Procurement Committee to solicit on behalf of the city electrical, natural gas rates, telephone, general utilities, and other energy conservation measures and revenue generation that will benefit the city globally out to December 2026, and to take it up for immediate action.
Second.
The item was moved in second. Discussion on the motion to discharge only. Call on order from Ward 24.
Thank you, Madam President. On October 8th, the Finance Committee heard this order, which would allow the City Energy Procurement Committee to move quickly to obtain favorable rates for energy before the winter months, when prices are inevitably go up. Given the time sensitivity, the committee took no action, and I am requesting the board discharge the item so it may be voted on this evening. I ask colleagues to support this discharge. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion on a motion to discharge only? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item is discharged. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on from Ward 24.
Thank you, Madam President. This order extends the authorization given to the Energy Procurement Committee to make strategic energy purchases in ways that produce the most favorable rates for the city. This order continues a practice that over the past several years have shown to be a benefit to save money for the city. I ask colleagues to support this motion to approve this item. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to suspend section 24-1-A of the rules of the Board of Alders to conduct further business.
Second.
The item moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The pass, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under communications, I note item 24. I move to close the suspension of section 24-1-A of the rules of the Board of Alders.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item passed. And before a motion to adjourn is appropriate, I would like to take points of personal privilege. Are there any points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 22.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to give a special thank you, a special shout out to two very special women's organizations here in the city of New Haven. Both the links Incorporated, New Haven chapter, and my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the New Haven chapter, which is Theta Epsilon Omega. Those two organizations, as a lot of people in organizations, realized that food insecurity was one of the biggest barriers that our city faced during this time of the pandemic. And both of these organizations saw it fit to make substantial donations to the residents of the Dixwell community to help out with food. And I am just so humbled, and I'm so thankful for what they have done. As we talk tonight about, you know, when we look at different things, but when you look at some baseline things, housing, food, things of that sort, I am just so thankful to these two organizations for thinking about Dixwell. So thank you, Madam President.
I will now call on order from Ward 21.
Thank you, Madam President. There will be a mask giveaway tomorrow from 4 to 6 at the Stetson Library with both adults and kids masks for anyone who knows of folks who are in need of masks. Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 29.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to say thank you to my colleagues, Ward 30, Ward 28. On last Thursday, we did a food drive, almost 1,300 boxes that we gave away. I just want to say thank you to the organization who put it together. I just want to underscore that we take a lot of flack sometimes on things that we do, but those things should be recognized as well. So Alder Smith, Alder Marks, Madam President, I just want to say thank y'all for, you know, letting me be a part of that, you know, process. And our majority leader, thank you so much for helping me move those boxes and got my shoulders hurting and my biceps hurting. And, you know, thank you for that, you know, help on last Thursday. It was really, really great. And I know we touched a lot of lives, a lot of smiles, a lot of just people opening up their hearts because we're doing what we're doing. So I just want to say thank you.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 27.
Thank you, Madam President. Seeing this is our last Board of Alders meeting before elections, I just want to encourage our whole city to go out and vote, vote, vote. Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any points of personal privilege? I have one. I would like to let everyone know that we will be giving away masks in Ward 23. And it's welcome to anybody to come for adults and children in the Day Street Housing Complex on Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. And then on October 29th from 10 to 2, Alder Douglas and Hamilton and myself will be giving away food at True School. Are there any more points of personal privilege? Seeing none, a motion to adjourn is appropriate.
Sorry, President Walker, I'm sorry, I had my hand up.
Okay. I call on order from Ward 28.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. Yes, I just want to say thank you and make an announcement about, I don't know if you all know, but over here in 28 and some of my other colleagues, Alder Wingate and Alder Yvette, we are going through something here where there's a little racial tension seem to be raising. And we all know that during this pandemic, there's just a lot happening. I was actually speaking with Madam President Walker the other night, you know, about trying to see about how we're going to continue with this. So you all know that there was a rally, a little rally we had yesterday where a lot of residents came out and people speaking out. So during this time, we are looking for resources, order furlough, please, everyone, keep us in your thoughts and in your prayers as we try to bridge gaps together, because we want our city to be the best it can. So we're moving on forward. It is a meeting this Wednesday, and just be thoughtful with the mayor. It is just a lot going on. We want to make it best for everyone, that we come together and fight this crime that's outraged everywhere. So if we come together, I think we can beat this here. So just be mindful of those things. Thank you so much.
I will now call on order from Ward 3.
Thank you, Madam President. On tomorrow, we will be doing the same food giveaway that's been going around the city, and 10 to 4 at the John C. Daniels School. I'm asking everyone to come out, send your constituents if they haven't received anything, to come out and receive a box of food. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. And thank you, President Pro Tem, for stepping in. A motion to adjourn is appropriate.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 And everyone be safe. And if you haven't got your flu shot, go get flu shot. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, honorable colleagues. Thank you all.
Oh my God. Got one more.